I'm like,
Yeah, I
and then when we had the interview, and she said, when we get back to Ron Marwood.
Will the Senate please come to order? We'll observe a moment of silence in lieu of a devotional. Thank you. Are there any announcements? Seeing none, we have a referral. We have H 519 being on the calendar for notice and carrying an appropriation under Rule 31 is referred to the Committee on Appropriations. Orders of the day. We have H 549 for third reading. Are there any amendments prior to third reading? Seeing none, please listen to the third reading.
H 549, an act relating to eligibility of sentenced or detained individuals to obtain a state-issued non-driver identification card, replacement operator's license, or replacement learner's permit.
The question is, shall the bill pass in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? If so, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we have passed H 549 in concurrence. We now have H 917. Are there any amendments prior to third reading? Seeing none, listen to the third reading.
H 917, an act relating to military affairs.
Question is, shall the bill pass in concurrence? Are you ready for the question? If so, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we have passed H 917 in concurrence. We have on the calendar for action H 410, which was passed by the House April 10th of 26. It was referred to the Committee on Judiciary, which reports it has considered the bill and recommends that the Senate propose to the House that the bill be amended as it appears starting on page 1338 of today's calendar, and that with such proposal of amendment, the bill ought to pass. Affecting the expenditures of the state, the bill was referred to the Committee on Appropriations, which recommends that the bill ought to pass in concurrence with the proposal of amendment as recommended by the Committee on Judiciary. Listen to the second reading of the bill.
H 410, an act relating to the calculation of recidivism and other criminology measures.
I recognize the Senator from Franklin District for the report of the Committee on Judiciary.
Thank you, Mr. President. H 410, an act relating to the calculation of recidivism and other criminology measures. One may ask, why do we need this? And what do we do with this? Collection of criminal justice data provides lawmakers with a snapshot of how state's criminal justice system is functioning to help them make evidence-based decisions regarding policy changes, resource allocations, identification of racial or systematic disparities, and evaluation of the effectiveness of the programs, which we use quite frequently in the Senate Judiciary. Collection of recidivism data helps lawmakers understand how often individuals reoffend and guides evidence-based reforms in sentencing, probation, parole to lower recidivism. Researchers typically use a 3 to 5 year window because that balance is comparable to policy relevance. Most reoffending occurs within the first few years after release on a 3-year measure, captures most of the cases and aligns with the common reporting standards of the Bureau of Justice Statistics. A 5-year window provides a longer-term view to assess whether effects persist over time. Longer follow-up periods over 5 years add complexity and data limitations while offering diminishing additional insights. On to the bill. Section 1. This section creates a new chapter within the crimes and criminal procedures titled regarding criminology measures. The intention is to aggregate provisions related to tracking criminology data in one place for the purpose of informing policymakers when considering criminal justice proposals. 8121 definition. This section adopts a new definition of recidivism There's a current definition regarding the calculation of recidivism in Title 28. But this definition was adopted years ago and has not proven to be of any value, and the bill repeals that definition in Section 2. The new definition is much simpler and means a relapse into criminal activity as evidenced by an individual who is convicted of a criminal offense after receiving criminal convictions for a previous crime. Recidivism will be measured from the date an individual is released from incarceration or sentenced to a non-incarcerative sentence for the first conviction to the date of arraignment for his or her second conviction. Vermont Statistical Analysis Center annual reports. This section requires annual reports on criminal data from the Vermont Statistical Analysis Center to committees on jurisdiction. A Statistical Analysis Center, SAC, is a state-level agency or unit dedicated to collecting and analyzing and reporting data on crime and justice. These centers provide objective, policy-relevant research to help government officials make informed, evidence-based decisions regarding the criminal justice system. The Crime Research Group, whom we rely upon quite often, serves as Vermont's SAC. It actually contracts with the Department of Public Safety. It's a nonprofit organization here in the city of Montpelier. Section A, there are 5 annual reports that are going to be required. First is on bail rates. Second is on recidivism. The third is on arrest and clearance rates. Aggregated information regarding the 20 crimes with the highest number of convictions in the state. And the length of time for all sentences of incarceration and probation for the 20 crimes with the highest number of convictions. Subsection B requires the annual reports to contain demographic data when available. Subsection C requires all entities that have data essential to compiling the report to share data with the SAC. Section 2 repeals the current calculation of recidivism in the corrections title. Section 3, this is the section for the technical amendment, striking a reference to the repealed definition from Section 2. In Section 4, the Vermont Statistical Analysis Center appropriations of approximately $25,000 to the Department of Public Safety for contracting with the SAC for the annual reports. The effective date is July 1st, 2026 of this year. And there's a small amendment under H14. If adopted, the fourth sentence in 8121 would read, the recidivism, here's the new word, calculation shall begin on the day an individual is released from incarceration or the date when an individual is sentenced to a non-custodial sentence. Your Senate Judiciary heard from Team Lead Legislative Counsel, Office of Legislative Counsel, and the Executive Director from the Crime Research Group. The vote out of committee was 5-0-0, and we ask for the Senate support. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator from Franklin did such a nice job. I would like to recognize the senator from Franklin for the report of the Committee on Appropriations.
Thank you, Mr. President. H410 went through your Senate Appropriations Committee, and we deemed this to be de minimis. And looking at the size of our budget, it's $25,000. And so we voted to support the bill, and it came out of committee on a 7-0-0 vote, and we ask for your support. Thank you.
The question is, shall the Senate propose to the House to amend the bill as recommended by the Committee on Judiciary? Are you ready for the question? Senator from Windham.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I interrogate the reporter of the bill?
The reporter is interrogated.
Thank you. I appreciate the committee's work on this, and recidivism is also important when you're looking at corrections facilities. And I believe that the existing number is in the 40s. And I'm curious to know if the committee looked at what the recidivism rate is under the existing calculation and what it would be under the new calculation.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator, for the question, Mr. President. We did not look at that. We're obviously pushing this forward, hoping that the CRG will come back with those results for us at a later date.
Okay, thank you.
Are you ready for the question? The question is, shall the Senate propose to the House to amend the bill as recommended by the Committee on Judiciary? If so, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And you propose to the House to amend the bill as proposed by the Committee on Judiciary. The question now is, shall the bill be read a third time? Are you ready for the question? If so, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and you've ordered third reading of H 410. Okay, so S 181 was passed by the House with a proposal of amendment. The question is, shall the Senate concur with the House proposal of amendment? Senator from Windham.
Thank you, Mr. President. We received the House proposal of amendment and reviewed it this morning with Legislative Council. They made a very small clarifying change which is located on page 1339 of today's calendar. Senators may remember this was a bill related to deferred sentences and pre-sentence investigation reports. The purpose of 181 was to eliminate one unnecessary redundancy, and what the House or what the other body added was to clarify that if an offense is not a listed crime as provided in subdivision 5301, which is the listed crimes of this title, the court may, at its discretion, order a pre-sentence investigation. This is something that is already covered in Title 28, BSA 204, and I believe the Rules of Criminal Procedure, Rule 32. So in some irony, we're having another redundancy by accepting this amendment, but it does make it clear and directly in the statute. So Senate Judiciary unanimously agreed to support the House or the other body's amendment, and we ask for the Senate support.
Senator from Windham has moved that the Senate concur in the House proposal of amendment. Are you ready for the question? Is that not quite accurate? Are you ready for the question? If so, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Oop, you get that back. That completes the orders of the day. Senator from Chittenden.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate stand in adjournment until 11:30 a.m. Friday, April 17th, 2026.
Are there any further announcements? Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Appropriation will also meet at 1:30.
Senator from Rutland.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Government Operations will meet at 1:50.
Senator from Windham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Institutions will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Bennington.
Mr. President, the Senate Education Committee will meet at 1:30.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, the senator from Chittenden Central has moved that the Senate stand in adjournment until 11:30 a.m. Friday, April 17th, 2026. Are you ready for the question? If so, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we'll stand in adjournment until 11:30 a.m. Friday, April 17th, 2026.